Namaste. A very good morning, everyone. Once again, I take this honor to serve you as the MC for today's event, and I welcome you on behalf of OPPI at this annual Summit 2025. At the outset, I wish to sincerely thank each of you for making the time to join us. We deeply appreciate your presence and the invaluable contribution you bring to this gathering. On behalf of OPPI, I once again extend to you a warm and heartfelt welcome to our annual summit. Together, we look forward to an inspiring day of meaningful dialogue, shared knowledge, and forward-thinking ideas. Before we begin, I'd like to just take a moment to thank all our partners and sponsors. If we can, give a warm applause for them. Thank you for making this event possible. We would also like to take the honor to welcome Shri Amit Agrawal, Secretary, Department of Pharmaceuticals. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming him. Thank you so much, sir, for taking the time and joining us. And to begin our day with wisdom and tradition, may I invite our dignitaries onto the stage for the ceremonial diya lighting. This act symbolizes the illumination of minds and until unity we foster here. So I'd like to welcome to the stage Shri Amit Agrawal, Secretary, Department of Pharmaceuticals, Mr. Bhushan Akshikar, President OPPI, Mr. Amitabh Dubey, President-elect OPPI, Mr. Suresh Pattathil, past President OPPI, Mr. Anil Mattai, Director General OPPI, to please join us for the lighting ceremony.
वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा
Thank you to our esteemed leaders for brightening the start of our summit. We request you to please take your seats. And may I request Mr. Anil Mattai, Director General OPPI, to come forward for the welcome address. Sir.
Shri Amit Agarwal ji, our Secretary, Department of Pharmaceuticals, friends from the industry, from the media, and our executive committee members. It's an absolute delight, a pleasure and a privilege for me as always. I'm also enthused specifically this time all the more because not only is it our annual summit, but it happens to be our 60th year. Very rarely, very rarely do you see an industry association, especially in a young country like India, which has already spent 60 years. And as you know, we have members here who have been around for more than 100 years as well. This year particularly, we are focusing on what has enabled us to be where we are. And that is the power of partnership. Power of partnership is a theme for this event. Because this journey of 60 years is very well captured. It is in our heart that we do partnerships. Partnerships has enabled us to do efficacious advocacy, if I may use that word. Power of partnership has helped us in getting innovative medicines. Power of partnerships has enabled us in helping improve access. Power of partnership has helped us in doing the research and development work which we do. It has also helped us in building talent within the industry and our collaboration with the academia, which is, if I would say, it's still at a very nascent stage. We need to do more there. So how do we really build talent? And also this power of partnership has enabled us in terms of building capabilities in the industry for the country. Of late, we have seen a lot of developments have happened which are big enablers for the industry. I mean, I always keep saying I have been there for a few decades, but what I have seen happen in the past decade perhaps didn't happen in the previous 3 decades. So a lot has happened. I would particularly like to highlight 2 things. The recent one, which one is our GST regime change, and the second one, what we hear now on PRIPS. I think these are big changes, and if implemented in the true sense and spirit, will be big enablers to take the industry to the next level. I would like to particularly thank our Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, and our Health Minister, Shri Nadda ji, for making this happen. Unfortunately, Nadda ji, who was planning to be here today, could not make it because he had some other compulsions, but I think their blessings are there with us. My big take for the next 60 years, if not next 60 years, at least for the next 10 years, is we are now at a position where we see India moving to the next level. Based on the foundation which we have established as a pharmacy to the world, we are now taking steps to become the pharma powerhouse to the world. I think, and for that, again, the tone from the top is discover in India, innovate in India for the world, and that is what we all need to play a role. So without further ado, I would like you to spend the next few hours during this meeting not only networking with your colleagues, but taking away some key takeaways from this session as to how we as individuals can play a role. Otherwise, it is we do this, we do that, but we need to identify specifics. So thank you all very much for coming in, and I would now step down to be back again later on, but I won't come in the way between Secretary DOP, Shri Amit Agarwal ji. Maybe you can come up and give a brief introduction and I'll step down. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Matai. And as Mr. Matai mentioned, we'll have Honorable Nadaji's message, which he sent us, a showcase on the screen later. But ladies and gentlemen, right now, I'd like to take the privilege of welcoming Shri Amit Agrawal, Secretary, Department of Pharmaceuticals, Government of India, to please come forward for his keynote address. Let's give him a very warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be amidst all of you and to have this opportunity to connect with all of you. I thank especially Mr. Matai, who's been continuously engaging with us and making sure that government and OPPI and its members stay connected, and to President Mr. Ashikar and President-elect Mr. Dubey and all the other office bearers, and also all the associations, the sister associations from the wider industry and from the pharma industry, and the stakeholder partners from patient assistance side as well as government. So thank you all of you for being here for this occasion. First of all, let me begin by congratulating OPPI for completing its Diamond Jubilee. It's really foundational, and there are not too many manufacturing industries in India which can have such a long track record of 6 decades of association in the country of domestic and global leaders completing a journey like this. And the choice of the theme is also very opportune: partnerships. It's the collectivity of what the ecosystem offers, which will create greater value. It is also part of a piece of the way India looks at the whole world. We believe in partnership as a country. We are not a country we are a country which believes in fraternity, in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We are not a country which is hegemonistic, has ever aspired to be. So we value partnerships. We have been a reliable partner to the world. We've been a resilient partner and supplier to the world, and we seek to be a partner not just in manufacturing and supply, but also in innovation and discovery. And that is the point in time where we are. There are huge opportunities that exist at this point in time for India and for the world equally. There's a lot which is happening in terms of technological change in the industry. The industry is set to move increasingly from chemicals to biology to biopharmaceuticals, and both innovative new biopharmaceuticals, other than that, emerging biologics and in biosimilars. And India is well positioned especially for the latter, the way it has been for generics. There is a huge coming opportunity there. At the same time, you have things like artificial intelligence, which would reduce the cost of discovery and the time to discovery. There is a growing recognition of the need to enable in the government and in all the discourse on the subject in India, that there is a need to have a faster path to market for products, and we are deeply engaged with that thought on how to enable and create pathways and systems and capacities for that. So all of these collectively would mean that a lot more can happen in India today than has happened in the past, exactly as was said, that the next few decades can be very different than from the past few decades and can be so much more. And that is really the opportunity which is there, and partnership is the way to unlock it. Partnership across the domestic ecosystem, the larger global ecosystem, partnerships with academia, partnerships with government organizations, partnerships in leveraging government procurement and schemes and insurance, partnerships in terms of technology. So there are a lot of things which can happen, and therefore this theme is extremely opportune. All of you would be engaging through the day, and I would be really happy to know the outcome of your deliberations. We had before this session a very productive and useful CEOs roundtable with all the OPPI members, CEOs who were present, and I sensed a lot of interest in India and growing the footprint in India, and I totally welcome and encourage that. As I said to them that as the department in the government responsible for promotion of the industry, it's our view in the department is that we are there for the business, and we are interested for the business case of things. Our doors are always open to not just to the association but individually to you. We would like you to all to really have bigger plans in India, for India and the world, and whatever it takes to really enable that, we are always open to those thoughts, ideas, suggestions, and we truly welcome that. So that said, I really look forward to the outcomes of today's deliberations, and I wish you all the very best for your event today, and I congratulate the organizers again on this event. Thank you.
Mr. Agarwal, may I request you to just stay a moment longer on stage with us? Thank you so much, firstly, for your inspiring words and sharing the vision. I would like to welcome Mr. Bhushan Akshikar, President, OPPI, Vice President, Managing Director, GlaxoSmithKline Pharmaceuticals Limited, to please present a memento of gratitude to Shri Amit Agarwal, Secretary, Department of Pharmaceuticals, Government of India. We would like to thank Shri Amit Agarwal. Thank you for joining us at the summit. Your presence and words have truly inspired us all. We understand that you have to leave earlier than expected due to pressing official commitments, but we deeply appreciate your time that you've shared with us. Thank you once again. Let's give him a warm applause, ladies and gentlemen, and thank Shri Amit Agarwal. Thank you so very much. And now I'd like to invite to the stage Mr. Bhushan Akshikar, President OPPI and Vice President Managing Director at GlaxoSmithKline Pharmaceuticals Limited, to please set the context for our summit. Everyone, let's welcome him with an applause. Warm welcome, sir.
What a morning. Distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, friends of the broader pharmaceutical fraternity, and well-wishers of OPPI. We've all gathered here for what is truly an extraordinary milestone. One of the most momentous occasions in the journey that OPPI has undertaken over the last 6 decades. As we celebrate our Diamond Jubilee, it's important to reflect on a few points, and I'll just spend, it's difficult to summarize a 60-year journey in 6 minutes, but I'm going to talk about a couple of themes that have helped us shape this roadmap so far. Way back in 1965, when OPPI was formed by the founding members, there was a simple yet a very powerful vision, which was anchored around promoting innovation and research, upholding the highest standards of pharmaceutical delivery, including quality, and last but most important, which has still remained the North Star, keeping the patients in India at the center of everything we do. So if you look at the first few decades, I think the founding members have shown a relentless pursuit of those standards of excellence. And I think that's what's really helped us stay relevant even after 60 years. Last evening, we had a roundtable of some of the ex-presidents, and I think some of the themes that emerged were very clear. And I think you heard from the Secretary DOP, the opportune theme of power of partnerships is therefore the platform on which we want to set out the next 60 years for us as an organization. Over these last 6 decades, if you were to reflect on this journey, it's really been a journey of creating impact. Whether it is getting innovative medicines into this country, whether it was putting up the ecosystem, and as I said last evening, a large part of the innovation was on the supply chain side. A large part of that goes to the founding member companies that really established that ecosystem in this country. As much as we take great pride in representing the innovation-led, research-driven pharmaceutical companies from the global standpoint, I think what's remained at the core has always been what impact can we have for patients at large in India. And I think that's remained as a driving force for the OPPI. This Diamond Jubilee celebration is not just about longevity. You heard from the DOP Secretary, not too many associations can take pride in saying that we are 60 years young. But OPPI does that. But this is not just about endurance or longevity. It's about the way OPPI has endeared itself to various stakeholders, including the government, including regulatory agencies, including patient advocacy groups, and most importantly, the wider ecosystem in India. So where are we at this inflection point? As we reflect on what the next few years should look like, we all know the industry is moving towards completely new standards. We are all driven by cell and gene therapies, biologics. And so what worked for us in these past 60 years will definitely not take us to the next orbit. So I think the call to action for all of us, member companies, is what needs to get unlocked for us to continue to create that same impact and at scale. Because at the core of it, as much as I say we keep representing innovator-led companies, innovation-led companies, our primary responsibility is to those 1.45 billion Indians who live here. And I think that's where the call to action is. We've talked extensively about what this new innovation ecosystem means in India. And these are not just some back offices when you talk of global capability centers. In a true sense, they are innovation and technology value creation centers where a lot of early R&D work is happening. So I think regardless of which function you may sit in, regardless of which organization you and I may represent, how can we create impact within our wider ecosystems to ensure that we not only make in India, but we innovate and discover in India? And that's exactly the connection that's been put out in the Viksit Bharat document that was put out for 2047. So I think as we pan out the next couple of decades, that should be the clear lookout. I would urge all member companies, all the individuals who are not only in this room, but all those who are represented by all of us here, to keep that at the core of everything we do. It's taken visionaries to keep OPPI relevant and to bring it to this stage. I think the next decade will be even more exciting. We've heard about the demographic dividend. We've heard about some of the incredibly innovative things that have happened. If you see the last decade, we today boast of the largest insurance scheme in the world, covering almost 600 million Indians. The question is, what can we do to unlock value in getting some of our innovative medicines, vaccines, or what have you, into those systems and make every single patient in India, every single person in India eligible for those innovative treatments. I think the future is really exciting, but as I said in the beginning, it depends on how we continue to collaborate, which has been the theme for the first 60 years, and I'm pretty certain the next 60 years will not only be exciting, but we will only strengthen this platform of collaboration and alliances across the value chain. With that, I wish not only the OPPI Secretariat and all the member companies, but the wider ecosystem and all the sister associations the very best. It is indeed a moment to celebrate. Diamond Jubilees don't come very often, so hope you have a wonderful deliberation over the next few hours. And once again, thanks for taking our time to be a part of this incredible and an exciting milestone. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Akshikar, for setting the tone for the summit and also for your leadership. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by Srimati Punya Salila Srivastav, Secretary, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. Please, let's give her a warm welcome. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today. Now, as Mr. Akshikar was talking about the 60-year journey of OPPI, I'd like to take a moment and tell you about, since its inception in 1965, the Organization of Pharmaceutical Producers of India, OPPI, has been much more than an association. For 6 decades, OPPI has stood as the trusted voice for research-based global pharmaceutical companies in India, championing cutting-edge scientific innovation and steadfast patient-centric care. Now, before we move forward, we would like to take you on a journey of 60 years of OPPI. Can we have the audiovisual, please?
हम हैं OPPI। हम विकासशील भारत के साथी हैं, विकसित राष्ट्र की ओर बढ़ रहे हैं। हम स्वास्थ्य प्रणाली की रीढ़ हैं, देश हित में काम कर रहे हैं। 6 दशकों से अधिक समय से एक रिश्ता हम निभा रहे हैं। महामारियों और जानलेवा बीमारियों की रोकथाम में सरकार का हाथ बटा रहे हैं। 1965 में आए थे। 1 दशक में हमने वैश्विक मंच पर भारत की आवाज को पहुंचाया, नीति निर्माण में सुझाव दिए, चुनौतियों से लड़कर बदलाव का दौर लाया। संवाद और साझेदारी को आधार बनाकर हमने पारदर्शिता और गुणवत्ता बढ़ाई। हमने सरकार के साथ मिलकर विश्व में भारतीय फार्मा इंडस्ट्री की पहचान बनाई। लिबरलाइजेशन के दौर में हमने सरकार का साथ निभाया। भारत को वैश्विक फार्मा का केंद्र बनाने हेतु हमने पेटेंट सुरक्षा, नवाचार और नीति सुधारों पर ध्यान लगाया। इन्वेस्टमेंट, इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी और ग्लोबल स्टैंडर्ड्स के साथ फार्मा को आगे बढ़ाया। नई नीतियों और एक्सपोर्ट को बढ़ाने के लिए हमने दुनिया के साथ तालमेल बिठाया। मरीजों की जरूरतों को हमेशा केंद्र में रखा, डिजिटलाइजेशन को अपनाया, शैक्षिक से जुड़े और सरकार को सहयोग कर जन जन तक उपचार पहुंचाया। कोविड-19 जैसी महामारी में भी हमने सरकार का हाथ बटाया। जीवन रक्षक दवाओं व वैक्सीन को देश के हर कोने तक पहुंचाया। ये सफर यहीं खत्म नहीं होता, अभी कई मुकाम पाने बाकी हैं। हमने और हमारी सदस्य कंपनियों ने देश को विश्व गुरु बनाने का संकल्प उठाया है। हम भारत के लोगों की सुरक्षा हेतु सदैव सरकार के साथ खड़े मिलेंगे। हम पहले भी थे, हम आज भी हैं, हम कल भी रहेंगे। हम हैं OPPI।
Yes, 60 glorious years with the power of partnership. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us once again. And now we have the honor of inviting to the stage Srimati Punya Salila Srivastav, Secretary, Ministry of Health and Welfare, Family Welfare, Government of India, for her keynote address. Let's give them a warm welcome, please. Very warm welcome, ma'am.
So good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to address all of you today on the occasion of the OPPI Annual Summit. And I thank the President OPPI and all my colleagues here and the OPPI members for inviting me today. Health is one sector where without partnerships we cannot meet challenges. And that's why government at every stage has been emphasizing partnerships. Whether it is partnership between ministries, we speak of whole of government approach, whether it's partnership with communities and with organizations like OPPI, we speak of whole of society approach, we speak of Jan Bhagidari. And this is more than evident in the health sector. All of you are aware of the intensified TB Mukt Bharat Abhiyan that we are doing. The incidence of TB in the country is declining fast, more than the global rate. And this is only happening because all of you, the communities, are coming forward to get those who are vulnerable for testing. The government alone, the ASHA worker alone, the medical officer alone cannot do it. It's because everybody is coming forward. The treatment success rate is improving. It's because there are 200,000 people who have registered themselves as Nikshay Mitras, volunteers for eliminating TB, who are hand-holding our patients to ensure that the treatment success rate improves. So this is a sector where we are seeing Jan Bhagidari and the power of partnerships, and where we can meet the challenge of TB elimination only through these partnerships. This was evident in the Swasth Nari Sashakt Parivar Abhiyan that we carried out for just a 15-day period. During this period, with all of your support and your organizations, 19.7 lakh camps were organized, and there was a footfall of 11 crores. The 3 Guinness records that we achieved during this Abhiyan is a testament to the power of partnership. Honorable Prime Minister has also been emphasizing one earth, one health, one family. And the reason he is doing this is because it is only the power of partnership that can help us meet global health challenges. Today, health, as you all know, knows no borders. Medicines know no borders. And therefore, we have to work together to meet forward. And I'm very happy that OPPI has recognized the need for partnership and adopted it as the theme for their annual Annual Summit, and it is really significant that this is the 60th year, and I congratulate all of you for 60 years of dedicated service to the pharma sector and to the country. And I hope that by leveraging this power of partnership, we will really be able to go forward. Dear friends, all of us keep on saying that India is the pharmacy of the world, and we supply generic medicines to over 200 countries, as well as vaccines to over 200 countries. But as I'm sure you would deliberate during the course of this summit, we need to move from generics to innovation. We need to move from value to volume to value. And the government has initiated a number of schemes to encourage research and development, etc. We are on our front. I noticed in your forthcoming sessions you have the drug controllers participating. So we are trying to bring in regulatory measures that can streamline and strengthen and promote innovation. They can promote transparency. They can promote predictability of CDSCO's processes. And I hope you will deliberate on these aspects and give us feedback as to how things can be done effectively without impacting public safety. India has become a member of the IMDRF. The CDSCO has MOUs with 23 countries. The reason we are pursuing these MOUs despite all challenges is to ensure that all of us have a global partnership. The Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission has become a member of the Pharmaceutical Discussion Group. Again, 18 countries are recognizing our pharmacopoeia. With the collaboration of Ministry of External Affairs, we are pushing this recognition again so that we can become an active member of the global partnership. As you are aware, India has maturity level 3 in vaccines, but we need to establish a maturity level in the pharma sector as well. And for this, we are trying to collaborate with states. We have launched the Shresht initiative so as to encourage states to improve their drug regulatory framework as well, so that we achieve a maturity level. But it is also very important that country as a whole, the industry in the entire country as a whole moves forward. And my appeal to you is, can OPPI also help provide technical support to the MSMEs? Because unless the industry as a whole moves forward and unless states together move forward, the country will not achieve this maturity level, and we will be hard-pressed to retain our current position as the pharmacy of the world. This is one specific request that I have to you. The Secretary Department of Pharmaceutical was here earlier. I'm sure he has told about his scheme, how they provide financial support to MSMEs. But it's more than finance. We need the technical support. We need the hand-holding. And this is what my request to you is today. My request to you today is also to see how you can make India a manufacturing hub for the entire spectrum of medicines. You have already opened the GCCs in India. Now, how would you like to enhance your R&D footprint in India so that we can switch from volume to value? And for this, I look forward to the deliberations in this summit, and do share the outcome, the feedback from this summit to tell us how we can further liberalize our processes. The CDSCO has been trying to liberalize certain aspects of test licenses. They are trying to ease processes, but please do deliberate on these subjects also and give us your feedback. I'm sure that together we will make a difference, and in partnership with the OPPI and the pharmaceutical producers of India, we will be able to ensure that this country is recognized as a global center of innovation, regulatory excellence, and patient-centric care. On behalf of Health Ministry, thank you for inviting me. Thank you for your continued support, and we will definitely move forward together. Thanks and best wishes for this summit and your deliberations. Do give the feedback. Thank you.
Ma'am, may I request you to please stay with us a moment longer? Thank you so much, Srimati Punya Salila Srivastava, for sharing your vision and insights with us, and also sharing that government is looking forward to the power of partnership as well. I would like to invite Mr. Amitabh Dubey, President-elect OPPI, Country President and Managing Director, Novartis India, to present the memento of gratitude to Srimati Punya Salila Srivastav. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm applause for Srimati Punya Salila Srivastav. Please do stay back with us. I would like to call upon, ma'am, sir, may I request you to stay back with us for the next segment? I'd like to invite Mr. Amitabh Dubey, once again, President-elect OPPI, Mr. Anil Matai, Director General OPPI, Mr. Bhushan Akshikar, President OPPI, and Srimati Punya Salila Srivastav for the publication release. Ladies and gentlemen, let us now mark 3 significant launches. First, we would like to launch the Coffee Table book, which chronicles the 60-year journey of OPPI. May I request the book to be sent on stage, please? In this Coffee Table book, you'd be able to see the 60-year legacy of OPPI chronicled in this book. Next, we would like to launch the Essays on Innovation publication. Essays on Innovation publication. We'll just launch it on stage. I'd request the dignitaries to showcase the publication to the audience. Essays on Innovation, launched by OPPI at its annual summit, celebrates innovation as the cornerstone of progress. Next, we would like to launch the Thought Leadership Report. Last one, ma'am. It's the Thought Leadership Report. I'm so sorry. I'd also like to invite Team EY, our knowledge partner, to please join us on stage. The Thought Leadership Report, Fueling Innovation, Advancing Equity, the Power of Partnerships and Digital-First Strategies, Driving Indian Pharma's Global Dominance. The report highlights the transformative journey of India's pharmaceutical sector as it evolves from its historical role as the pharmacy of the world to a global leader in innovation and scientific research. Ladies and gentlemen, join us in launching our Thought Leadership Report. Thank you so much, ma'am. Dignitaries, thank you very much for doing the honors. Now, these publications that are unveiled here on stage by our dignitaries reflect the rich history and vision of OPPI. You can also download these reports from the OPPI website. They are available on the website. It's live now, so you can view it or download it from the website. 60-year film? Which one? first, David, that you want me to play? Some of our dignitaries couldn't make it here today in person, but they have sent us their video messages. So we'd like to showcase first Mr. David Reddy, President IFPMA, to showcase the video message, please. Can we have the AV?
It's my great honor to join you virtually today at OPPI's annual summit, and as you celebrate 60 years of partnership to advance science and innovation to meet the needs of Indian patients. Breakthrough advances in medicines and vaccines have driven over 1/3 of the gains in life expectancy worldwide, transforming global health and building the foundation of more resilient and secure future. Central to this is preserving the conditions where innovation can thrive and enabling the research-based pharmaceutical industry to do what it does best. With over 700 medicines anticipated to be launched by 2035, the future holds incredible promise, and our industry brings unparalleled scientific expertise, innovation, and capacity to translate breakthroughs into real-world impact. As the International Trade Association for the Innovative Pharmaceutical Industry, we rely on the strength of our members to reflect this vision at regional and national levels and uphold the highest standards of ethics and business integrity. But these efforts alone are not enough. Government, international organizations, civil society, academia, media all have a role to play to help us realize our collective vision of health for all. Today, it is urgent that we further mobilize around the power of partnerships, where stakeholders work together around shared incentives, aligned responsibilities, mutual accountability, and a focus on delivering healthier futures for people everywhere. When we work together, innovations can reach people faster, systems grow more resilient, and societies flourish. I wish you a brilliant continuation of your Diamond Jubilee, a testament to both OPPI's legacy and a strong foundation on which to build in the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you to Director General IFPMA. I'd like to now showcase a video message by Professor Shri Ajay Kumar Sood, Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India. Can we have the audiovisual, please?
It gives me great pleasure to extend my warmest greetings and congratulations to the OPPI as it celebrates 60 years of dedicated service to the health sector. This milestone is not only a moment of pride, but also a testament to the enduring commitment, collaboration, and shared vision that have guided the association over the decades. The chosen theme, the power of partnership, beautifully captures the spirit that has driven progress in health and healthcare delivery across our nation. True transformation in health outcomes has always depended on collective effort, the partnership between government and industry, between healthcare professionals and communities, between innovation and compassion. Over the past 6 decades, OPPI has played an important role in connecting diverse stakeholders, fostering dialogue, advancing research, and ensuring ethical practices, and supporting policies that strengthen our health systems. Your collaboration with the public sector has been instrumental in expanding access to care, promoting preventive health, and responding effectively to national health priorities. A recent example of this has been the COVID-19 pandemic, where the industry and government worked together to build resilience. As we look to the future, the power of partnership will be more important than ever. Case in point being the global capability centers established by the industry that are driving innovation and R&D in the country. while generating employment and upskill. Together, we must continue to harness innovation, digital health, and sustainable models of care to ensure that quality health care reaches every citizen, leaving no one behind. I congratulate the members, partners, and leaderships of OPPI for 60 years of excellence and collaboration. May this anniversary inspire renewed commitment to our shared mission, namely building a healthier, stronger, and more resilient nation through the power of partnership.
Yes, thank you to Professor Sood. Now, before we move forward, we would like to thank our gold partner, Roche Products India Private Limited. We'd like to quickly showcase an audiovisual for Roche. Can we have the AV, please?
More than 100 years. More than 100 years ago in Switzerland, our company's founder, Fritz Hoffmann, turned a pioneering idea into reality.
That a partnership between business and science can improve people's lives.
Expanding globally, colleagues tackled obstacles and worked across disciplines and cultures. They embraced risks.
This is still how we transform lives, provide cures, comfort, and hope today. This is what it takes to make a difference in the health of millions.
We continue to learn along the way. We explore ideas, face setbacks, and relentlessly pursue new approaches to make true advances against disease.
And our people remain dedicated to transforming science into breakthrough medicines and diagnostics. The quest goes on to improve the life of each patient in the best way possible. In partnership with others, together we spark meaningful change for the future of human health.
Because a great idea is a great idea no matter where it comes from.
So our journey continues. The world needs better ways to prevent, diagnose, and treat disease.
We're committed to bringing these advances to everyone who needs them, no matter where they live. And this is our promise, to care about this generation and the ones to come for the next 100 years and beyond.
We are a global healthcare pioneer, advancing science for humanity. This is who we are. This is Roche.
Once again, thank you to Roche Products India Private Limited. I would like to now invite to the stage Dr. Monica Puri, Chief Commercial Officer of Roche Products India Private Limited, for our industry partner keynote address. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Puri on stage.
Distinguished representatives from the government, OPPI Director General Mr. Anil Matai, President Mr. Bhushan, President-elect Mr. Dubey, leaders from the biopharma industry, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. I'm truly honored to be speaking here today. This gathering is much more than an annual event. It is a confluence of the key architects of India's healthcare system, a room where science, policy, and purpose meet. I stand here wearing two hats. One, as the Chief Commercial Officer for Roche Pharma India, a part of a global organization where more than 100,000 people and nearly 5,000 colleagues in India wake up every day with a single purpose: to advance science, so more patients can live longer, healthier, and a better life. And the second hat, as a proud representative of OPPI, a 60-year-old institution built on the foundation of collaboration, trust, and innovation to transform healthcare ecosystem in India. Why this moment matters is very simple. India is at a tipping point, a point where bold public health ambitions meets unprecedented scientific possibilities. And we are all here because we believe that this decade will define the next century for India's health system. As OPPI completes 6 decades, its role as a bridge builder has never been more important. It has created a platform where industry, policymakers, regulators, academia, clinicians, and civil society has come together, not as separate institutions, but as partners with a shared national mission. And when partnerships work, they change lives. We heard Dr. Sood talking about COVID-19 crisis. When the world was searching for answers, India leaned on collaboration, fast regulatory actions, open scientific exchange, accelerated reviews, and industry stepping up with speed and responsibility. The result was not just rapid access to innovation, but millions of lives protected because the ecosystem moved as one. This brings me to the core of the biopharma industry's DNA and OPPI's enduring philosophy grounded in 3 essential pillars of innovation, research, and access, which ensures no patient is left behind. These pillars are not abstract concepts. They are what turns scientific possibility into human impact. And we have seen this firsthand at Roche also. Our early work with monoclonal antibodies has changed the breast cancer treatment in India, not because of one company's effort, but because all 3 pillars of innovation, research, and access aligned. Approvals were timely, academic and clinical partnerships were strong, science was disseminated quickly, and together we prevented countless avoidable deaths through early equitable access. The same spirit is shaping our work today in rare diseases, advanced cancers, ophthalmology, and neurological conditions. And the lesson is consistent: when India's ecosystem aligns around innovation, research, and access, the impact is transformative. Today's theme, the power of partnerships, captures that exactly. And at this pivotal moment, we also acknowledge, as Madam Punya had also mentioned, DOP Secretary had also mentioned, that Government of India has made its own strides through GTE, BCD, GST rationalizations, by expanding Ayushman Bharat cover to 70 years and above population, by decentralizing cancer care, and bringing the policy reforms around R&D and investment. And these are not just policy improvements, they are nation-shaping commitments, steering us towards Viksit Bharat 2047. And this brings me to the heart of why we are here. Whether it is fast-tracking innovation, strengthening research capabilities, building early detection programs, or ensuring equitable access across geographies, the only way forward is together. Government sets the direction, and ma'am has said it, we need to move from generics to innovation. Industry brings that science and innovation. Regulators create pathways of trust and speed. Academia builds evidence that grounds our progress. Civil society ensures accountability, inclusion, and reach. Each of us is at a vital piece of much larger puzzle. And only when every piece aligns do we unlock the full promise of a healthier and a more prosperous India. So as we step into this new chapter, let us move forward with unity, with strength, and with the unwavering power of partnerships. Partnerships that honor science, uplift patients, and build the India we all envision. Because the future of healthcare in India will not be written by any of us alone. It will be written by all of us together, right here in this room. Thank you.
Dr. Puri, request you to please stay with us a moment longer on stage. Thank you for sharing your insights that spotlight the future of research-driven healthcare aligned with global excellence. I'd like to invite Mr. Bhushan Akshikar, President OPPI, Vice President Managing Director at GlaxoSmithKline Pharmaceuticals Limited, to present the memento of gratitude. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Puri. Thank you, Mr. Akshikar. I'd also like to take a moment here now to formally thank all our partners in collaboration with Department of Pharmaceuticals, Invest India, International Federation of Pharmaceutical Manufacturers and Associations, European Federation of Pharmaceutical Industries and Associations, our gold partner Roche Products India Private Limited, our silver partner Eli Lilly and Company India Private Limited, our knowledge partner EY Parthenon, logo partners GlaxoSmithKline Pharmaceutical Limited, Novartis India, Takeda Biopharmaceutical India Private Limited, our award sponsors for the Young Scientist of the Year, sponsored by APJ Satyaswarna Group, Martin and Harris Private Limited. For the award of Women Scientist of the Year, it's sponsored by Merck Specialties Private Limited. A Scientist of the Year award is sponsored by AbbVie Therapeutics India Private Limited, and OPPI Excellence in Innovation Award for Healthcare Startup of the Year, sponsored by Novo Nordisk India Private Limited. We'd like to thank all our partners and sponsors once again. Ladies and gentlemen, before we move forward, we'd like to showcase a video message by Shri Jagat Prakash Naddaji, Honorable Minister of Health and Family Welfare and Honorable Minister of Chemicals and Fertilizers, Government of India. Can we have the audio visual, please?
Namaskar. It gives me great pleasure to extend my warmest greetings and congratulations to the OPPI as it celebrates 60 years of dedicated service to the health sector. The theme of this year's summit, the power of partnership, perfectly reflects the governance philosophy of Modi government. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, and Sabka Prayas. Over the last 1 decade, India has shown the world that political vision, industry capability, and national purpose come together, we can achieve the impossible. Let me share just few examples. India today supplies medicines to over 200 countries. We meet 40% of the United States generic medicine demand and nearly 25% of all medicines used in the United Kingdom. We fulfill 60% of global vaccine requirements, a responsibility only a handful nations can shoulder. Under Ayushman Bharat, more than 600 million Indians now have health protection, the largest initiative of its kind anywhere in the world. Through Jan Aushadhi Kendras, prices of essential medicines have been reduced to 50 to 90%, ensuring affordability for the poorest families. During the COVID-19 pandemic, India delivered 2.2 billion vaccine doses at home and supported over 100 countries through Vaccine Maitri, demonstrating that India's compassion is as strong as its capability. Today, with more than 1,600 global capability centers, including many in pharma and life sciences, India is becoming global hub of research, digital innovation, and high-value jobs. These achievements are not accidental. They reflect a strong political will, policy stability, and a partnership-driven development model that places India's citizens at the center. But friends, the next decade will be even more decisive. The question before us is not whether India will grow. The question is, will we innovate for the world? Will we shape the future of global health? And for that, the power of partnership is essential. More than ever before, let me outline the government's clear priorities for the journey ahead. First, India's health sovereignty must be non-negotiable. India has depended on the imports for nearly 70% of critical APIs and technologies. This must fall below 30%. PLI schemes and bulk drug parks are major steps, but industry collaboration is crucial. Self-reliance in the healthcare is a strategic necessity. Second, India must move from being a pharmacy of the world to becoming the laboratory of the world. Manufacturing is our strength. Now we must pair with innovation. We want to see more cutting-edge research coming from India in biosimilars, novel molecules, gene therapies, cell therapies, AI-driven drug discovery, and advanced diagnostics. Third, affordability and equity must remain the heart of India's healthcare vision. India's strength is not only that we innovate, but that we innovate for everyone. A healthier India is the foundation of a stronger India. OPPI's 60-year journey shows what partnership can achieve, but the next decade demands even greater innovation, investment, and alignment with national priorities. On behalf of the Government of India, I wish you a summit of action. Let your partnership make India global hub for innovation, manufacturing, and trust. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by Dr. Vinod K. Paul, Member Health at Niti Aayog. Let's give him a warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. And we'd also request you to please come forward and deliver our guest of honor address. Ladies and gentlemen, his contribution has been steering scientific policy for India. Let's give a warmer welcome there. Thank you.
Namaskar. Respected Dr. Bhushan Akshikarji, Shri Anil Mataiji, the leadership of OPPI, distinguished colleagues, friends. I'm very honored to be here. We are celebrating a milestone in the history, in the journey of a great organization of our nation. OPPI represents a strong industrial, scientific, and innovation ecosystem and partnership and endeavor and enterprise in India. We are proud to have you here, and thank you so much for the contribution that you have made as a citizen, as a doctor, as a policy enabler, as a part of the Government of India. I salute you for your work and profound congratulations on your Diamond Jubilee. So a big hand to all of you. I learned the names of your members before I learned many other things during my childhood. Your presence has been a journey of, for some of you, perhaps more than 100 years or close to 100 years. So thank you very much for bringing health to India, jobs to India, and being a part and parcel of the journey of India for drugs, for pharmaceuticals, for formulations, for innovative products, and delivering health through that route. We are proud to have you. We are a major contributor of India, of our Bharat being the pharmacy of the world. Thank you very much. That's my first salute and first submission this morning on this very auspicious day. Second, as the Honorable Minister very correctly said, you have been a force for creating partnerships. Your interface with academia, interface with people, interface with the government system, the trade supply chains has been an example of how you cement partnerships. And therefore, it's very apt that today your theme is the power of partnership. So we adore you. That's my second submission. We adore you for being the clue for very important, wide-ranging partnership for health and welfare and well-being of our people. I admire you for the third reason, namely your contribution, in particular, your contribution in the course of COVID-19 pandemic. I salute you all. You delivered medicines, you delivered vaccines, you delivered solutions, you rose to the occasion, you were part of the larger partnership that came together under the leadership of our beloved Honorable Prime Minister. And we rose to the occasion. You rose to the occasion, and I had wonderful interaction in the course of that very important and challenging phase with so many of you. And I admire, I adore, I thank you for the work that you did in that period of time. And there are lessons for future. And that the asks have already been spoken by the Honorable Minister. I am not going to repeat. But the asks on behalf of the people of India and the Government of India have been very nicely articulated by our Health Minister, sir. But today, only important submission here is that going into future, we need to reinvent our action pathways and reinvent our priorities. And clearly, he highlighted for India to become an innovation hub, an R&D hub. He rightly highlighted the need for India to be self-sufficient in APIs. He rightly emphasized harnessing of technologies for drug discovery. He hinted on pushing the frontier of future cures in the space of novel products, and here I may be specific to say cell and gene-based therapies, addressing the problem of rare diseases, novel vaccines, and indeed preparedness for future pandemics. Also, some of you may also have extended businesses in the space of animal health and animal vaccines. I like to emphasize that all that is connected, and we look forward to you to be ready to contribute in your own ways for pandemic preparedness, which we believe has to be seen through the lens of One Health. And today also there is a very important National One Health Convention going on, and therefore I bring the message to you that please see the opportunities for products, for research, for innovation through the lens of One Health across human health, animal health, wildlife, and environmental health. But truly, I know that you have the prowess, you have the capabilities, you have the links, you are part of that global system, which will be able to give us solutions in that space as well. My fourth point is really to thank you even more And once more, thank you very much for bringing the global system to India. You have brought GCCs into India. So many of you have brought GCCs to India. It's in a way a landmark development that has come up in a big way in recent times. And I thank you for that. And it makes it truly possible that we can aspire to meet the priorities that the Honorable Minister set out for us. Happy to note that Novartis, you have had a GCC for long, Lilly, Novo Nordisk, Takeda, AstraZeneca, BMS, GSK, J&J, Amgen, and others. I'm not able to count all the names, and I may not have information, but you have taken very major, decisive steps to bring this capability to Indian soil for India and for the world. And that shows the trust that you carry, and the nation adores you for that. The nation loves you for that. And I think these developments, recent developments, are therefore very heartening. But I must once again remind us that ultimately, for India, Atmanirbharta, self-reliance is so critical. We have seen in the face of COVID that we have to manage with such a large population, such big requirements, such complex topography and ecosystem. We have to have solutions that are available here, made in India here, and as much as possible developed in the country for India and for the world. So Atmanirbharta remains a guiding light for us. And likewise, we must keep in mind that going forward toward Viksit Bharat at 2047, we need to reshape our agendas, reshape our thematic areas of work to be able to think big, both for economy as well as for human and animal life, welfare, and health. We are very fortunate that in this room we are a force that not only leads to health, which is a goal by itself, but in doing so also stimulates and catalyzes and advances economy of this great nation. So it's a win-win business that we are in, and we look forward to your more generous journey going forward, journey that is driven by, in particular, innovation and new solutions and Atmanirbharta. With these words, I thank you very much. I congratulate you once again on your Diamond Jubilee. I am so honored to be here. Thank you. Jai Hind.
So may I request you to please stay with us a moment longer. Thank you so much, Dr. Paul, for sharing your vision and insights here with us. I'd like to now invite Mr. Anil K. Matai, Director General, OPPI, to present the memento of gratitude to Dr. V.K. Paul. And I request you to stay with us for the next segment as well. Can we take the memento, please? We now move towards OPPI award ceremony. As we celebrate excellence, may I invite our award presenters as well on stage. Mr. Bhushan Akshikar, President OPPI. Mr. Amitabh Dubey, President-elect OPPI. Our gold partner, Dr. Monica Puri, Chief Commercial Officer at Roche Products India Private Limited. Let's honor the pioneers and rising stars who have shaped our field. Ladies and gentlemen, I know we are in serious business. We make India healthy, but we can have a little fun as well. So please make sure that you give all your love and applause to all our award winners. We will begin with OPPI Lifetime Achievement Award. I'd request the envelope to be sent on stage. And may I request Dr. V.K. Paul to open the envelope and announce our winner's name.
the winner of OPPI Lifetime Achievement Award for 2025 is Dr. D. Nageshwar Reddy, founder and chairman, Asian Institute of Gastroenterology and AIG Hospital. Dr. Reddy, welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a thunderous applause to our Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Dr. D. Nageshwar Reddy, founder and chairman, Asian Institute of Gastroenterology and AIG Hospitals, in appreciation of his unwavering commitment and pioneering contributions in the field of healthcare. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, OPPI Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Dr. Reddy. Many congratulations. Sir, of course, we'd love to hear a few words from you.
Thank you very much. I'm extremely grateful to OPPI for this award. In fact, looking at the previous awardees, I'm both humbled and honored that I've been a recipient of this. I actually didn't know much about OPPI till I came here, and I realized the power of this institution. The fact that this is called the power of getting together. I think partnership is very important, and I think this is a very important message. And as Dr. Vinod Pal has already told you, that we as Indians coming together in various fields can create magic. We have the world's probably the best hospitals, the world's best doctors, the world's best pharma. If we can all get together, we can create the world's best health system. And I'm extremely glad that in the last few years, the government, and again, I would like to compliment Dr. Vinod Pal for getting this together, where they have not only supported government institutions, but also private hospitals to do research. In fact, our institution is supported by so many government funds, although we are a private institution. And to a large extent, what all we have done in terms of research, we are actually now working with 2 Nobel Prize winners as a faculty in our institution. All this is possible because of the support we got from Government of India. And we're extremely glad that we could partner this, and I'm sure, sir, that in the next few years, as we go along, we will become the world leaders in health. We will become, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and once again, many congratulations to you, Dr. Reddy. Thank you. We now move towards our next award category, which is Excellence in Innovation Award for Healthcare Startup of the Year. We'd like to first thank our jury panel and validator for their valuable time and support in evaluating the entries for Innovation Awards 2025. Let's give our jury and validator a big round of applause. This award is sponsored by Novo Nordisk India Private Limited. I'd like to welcome Mr. Vikrant Shrotriya, Managing Director and General Manager at Novo Nordisk India Private Limited. Let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Shrotriya. Thank you so much. And once again, may I request Dr. Paul to please do the honors.
So the winner of OPPI Excellence in Innovation Award for Healthcare Startup of the Year 2025 is Arca Research India Private Limited. Congratulations.
So congratulations, Arca Research India Private Limited. I'd like to invite Gayatri Choda, founder and CEO at Arca Research India Private Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our winner, Arca Research India Private Limited. Many congratulations. And may I request Gayatri to please say a few words. Gayatri, would you like to say a few words, please?
Very grateful and thank you for this opportunity to the team of OPPI and on the Diamond Jubilee celebrations that you are having. And thank you so much for the sponsors as well for this award. And also want to extend, we are here today because of one of the grants that has been given to us by one of your members, which is Pfizer. So want to thank on the stages as well to them. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, and many congratulations to you and to your team. I'd now like to move towards our next award, but here I'd like to thank Vikrant as well. Thank you so much for sponsoring this award. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move towards our next award, which is OPPI Scientist Awards. Now, there are 3 categories under this award: Young Scientist of the Year, Woman Scientist of the Year, and Scientist of the Year. Before we begin, we'd once again like to thank the esteemed validator, jury, and panel chair who've given their valuable time and support in evaluating the entries for Scientist Awards 2025. Let's give them a big applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you once again. We now move towards first the Young Scientist of the Year award. This award is sponsored by APJ Satyaswarna Group, Martin and Harris Private Limited. I'd like to welcome to the stage Mr. Vivek Sehgal, Senior Vice President, Corporate Affairs, APJ Satyaswarna Group, Martin and Harris Private Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Sehgal to the stage. May I request the envelope to be sent on stage? Dr. Paul, please do the honors.
So happy to announce that the winner of OPPI Young Scientist Award 2025 is Dr. Chinmay Kumar Hazra, Associate Professor, IIT Delhi.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Young Scientist of the Year award winner, Dr. Chinmay Kumar Hazra, Associate Professor, Department of Chemistry at Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. Many congratulations. And Dr. Hazra, we'd love to hear a few words from you.
I'm so happy to be here. A synthetic organic chemist. Sometimes I'm making molecules, sometimes I'm taking molecules. Mostly towards the pharmaceutical field. Sometimes we are making molecule like drug-like molecules. Listed modification. So I want to dedicate this award to my lovely wife, Ornesha, my daughter, Pragya Virajini, and to my family, parents, brothers, sisters, and of course, without my students' hard work and dedication, this award I couldn't. So thank you, all the panel member and jury member for selecting me for this award. Thank you.
Thank you, and many congratulations once again, Dr. Hazra. Thank you so much, Mr. Sehgal. We now move towards our next award, which is Women Scientist of the Year. This award is sponsored by Merck Specialties Private Limited. I'd like to invite to the stage Ms. Pratima Reddy, Managing Director, Merck Specialties Private Limited, and Country Speaker for Merck India. A very warm welcome to you. And I'd like to request envelope to be sent on stage, please. Dr. Paul, please do the honors.
The winner of OPPI Women Scientist Award 2025 goes to honor my student, Professor Dr. Shefali Gulati, Department of Pediatrics, All India Institute of Medical Sciences. Welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, Women Scientist of the Year, Professor Dr. Shefali Gulati, Faculty in Charge, Child Neurology Division, Department of Pediatrics, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi. A bigger round of applause, please. Many congratulations. Professor Dr. Gulati, we'd love to hear a few words from you, please.
I thank the OPPI and the jury members, and I'm really honored to receive this award. And the icing on the cake is to take it from my mentor, who has taught me since 1988 when I joined MBBS in AIMS. So I'm really grateful. And I think something very important is that public-private partnerships have to be there to move forward. And other thing is cross-disciplinary collaborations as well. Because, you know, many times scientists think they know more. So I think clinicians, scientists, industry, everyone has to work together. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, and many congratulations once again. And thank you, Pratima. Thank you for doing the honors and sponsoring this award. We now move towards our next award, which is Scientist of the Year. This award is sponsored by AbbVie Therapeutics India Private Limited. I'd like to welcome to the stage Mr. Suresh Pattathil, Managing Director and General Manager at AbbVie India. Ladies and gentlemen, please give him a warm welcome. Can we have the envelope on stage, please?
Friends, the winner of OPPI Scientist Award 2020 is Dr. Malla Reddy Chilla, Professor, Department of Chemistry, IIT, Hyderabad.
A big round of applause for Scientist of the Year Award winner, Dr. Malla Reddy Chilla, Professor, Department of Chemistry, Indian Institute of Technology, Hyderabad. Dr. Professor, we'd love to hear a few words from you.
Yeah, first of all, I'm very thankful to OPPI for this award. It's really a pleasure, and I was not actually, hoping that, this award will be given to me one day. And I've been following this organization. So I work on basically solid state and crystallization and polymorphs and things like that. So all of you know that, morphology and then particle size distribution is very important, but this is somehow, buried in the synthetic organic chemistry when you look at most of the, science that is discussed in conferences and all. So I'm very happy that I'm able to, share this here. And also, we have been working at IIT Hyderabad to make industry and academia collaborations, although it happens at one-to-one level a lot, but I think there is a need for a bigger consortium type, clusters, if we can do that. And also academics now, level of quality has actually significantly increased. And now we are at a juncture where we should actually aim a little bigger, as you were saying, sir. I think if you can go in the consortium manner, we can really do wonders. And it would be a very good opportunity for us to come together, right time actually to do it. And I would be very happy to continue to work with you. And then I hope to, make some difference. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and many congratulations once again. Thank you. I'd also like to thank all our dignitaries on stage. Thank you so much for doing the honors. Please do take a seat in the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, our partners make this recognition possible, so I'd like to take a moment to once again thank our partners and sponsors in collaboration with Department of Pharmaceuticals, Invest India, International Federation of Pharmaceutical Manufacturers and Associations, European Federation of Pharmaceutical Industries and Associations, our gold partner Roche Products India Private Limited, our silver partner Eli Lilly Company India Private Limited, our knowledge partner EY Parthenon, our logo partners GlaxoSmithKline Pharmaceuticals Limited, Novartis India, Takeda Biopharmaceuticals India Private Limited, our award sponsors, Young Scientist of the Year, APJ Satyaswarna Group, Martin and Harris Private Limited. Women Scientist of the Year Award was sponsored by Merck Specialities Private Limited. Scientist of the Year Award was sponsored by AbbVie Therapeutics India Private Limited, and OPPI Excellence in Innovation Award for Healthcare. Startup of the Year, this award was sponsored by Novo Nordisk India Private Limited. I'd also like to mention once again that we are posting live on LinkedIn and on X. Request everyone who's sharing any insights to please use the hashtag Power of Partnership, hashtag OPPI Annual Summit, and hashtag Bharat Ke Liye while posting on any social media platforms so that we can also be part of the conversations online as well. Our gold partner, Roche Products India Private Limited, are thrilled to announce Roche's presence at the OPPI National Summit. As a global pioneer in pharmaceuticals, Roche is committed to advancing science to improve people's lives. Their work in India focuses on bringing innovative solutions and critical research to patients who need it the most. Ladies and gentlemen, the team is available at the Roche stall throughout the summit. They invite you to step by and have a conversation to gain a deeper understanding of Roche's strategic presence in India. Our silver partner, Eli Lilly, also has a stall in the pre-function area. We'd like you to visit them as well. Now, since its inception in 1965, the Organization of Pharmaceutical Producers of India, OPPI, has been much more than an association. For 6 decades, OPPI has stood as the trusted voice for research-based global pharmaceutical companies in India, championing cutting-edge scientific innovation and steadfast patient-centric care. Before we move forward to our panel discussion as the stage gets set, we would like to take you on a journey of 60 years of OPPI. Can we have the 60-year film, please?
हम हैं OPPI। हम विकासशील भारत के साथी हैं, विकसित राष्ट्र की ओर बढ़ रहे हैं। हम स्वास्थ्य प्रणाली की रीढ़ हैं, देश हित में काम कर रहे हैं। 6 दशकों से अधिक समय से एक रिश्ता हम निभा रहे हैं। महामारियों और जानलेवा बीमारियों की रोकथाम में सरकार का हाथ बटा रहे हैं। 1965 में आए थे। 1 दशक में हमने वैश्विक मंच पर भारत की आवाज को पहुंचाया, नीति निर्माण में सुझाव दिए, चुनौतियों से लड़कर बदलाव का दौर लाया। संवाद और साझेदारी को आधार बनाकर हमने पारदर्शिता और गुणवत्ता बढ़ाई। हमने सरकार के साथ मिलकर विश्व में भारतीय फार्मा इंडस्ट्री की पहचान बनाई। लिबरलाइजेशन के दौर में हमने सरकार का साथ निभाया। भारत को वैश्विक फार्मा का केंद्र बनाने हेतु हमने पेटेंट सुरक्षा, नवाचार और नीति सुधारों पर ध्यान लगाया। इन्वेस्टमेंट, इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी और ग्लोबल स्टैंडर्ड्स के साथ फार्मा को आगे बढ़ाया। नई नीतियों और एक्सपोर्ट को बढ़ाने के लिए हमने दुनिया के साथ तालमेल बिठाया। मरीजों की जरूरतों को हमेशा केंद्र में रखा, डिजिटलाइजेशन को अपनाया, शैक्षिक से जुड़े और सरकार को सहयोग कर जन जन तक उपचार पहुंचाया। कोविड-19 जैसी महामारी में भी हमने सरकार का हाथ बटाया। जीवन रक्षक दवाओं व वैक्सीन को देश के हर कोने तक पहुंचाया। ये सफर यहीं खत्म नहीं होता, अभी कई मुकाम पाने बाकी हैं। हमने और हमारी सदस्य कंपनियों ने देश को विश्व गुरु बनाने का संकल्प उठाया है। हम भारत के लोगों की सुरक्षा हेतु सदैव सरकार के साथ खड़े मिलेंगे। हम पहले भी थे, हम आज भी हैं, हम कल भी रहेंगे। हम हैं OPPI।
Absolutely, a bigger round of applause for 60 years of legacy of OPPI, and this has only been possible because of the power of partnerships. So once again, thanking all our partners and members here. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for our key panel on power of partnerships. I would like to invite our moderator, Mr. Suresh Subramanian, partner, National Life Sciences leader, EY, to please join us on stage. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Welcome. I'd now like to welcome our eminent panelists to the stage. Mr. Annaswamy Vaidheesh, Non-Executive Chairman, Appasamy Associates, and Additional Independent Director at HDFC Trustee Company Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, he's joining us shortly. I'd like to then invite to the stage Dr. Chandrasekhar Ranga, Joint Drugs Controller India, CDSCO. I'd also like to invite to the stage Dr. Ratna Devi, CEO, Dakshama A Health, Director, PAIR, Patient Academic for Innovation and Research, Steering Committee Member, NCD Labs, WHO, Geneva. A very warm welcome to you, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome Dr. Ratna Devi. Put your hands together. And now welcoming Dr. Shubhini A. Saraf, Director, National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, Rai Bareli. I'd also like to welcome Mr. Sudarshan Jain, Secretary General, IPA. A very warm welcome. And last but not the least, I'd like to welcome Mr. Winslow Tucker, President and General Manager, Eli Lilly and Company, India. Yes. I think we'll take a couple of minutes for our other panelists to join us as well. Yes. It's a rare occasion on events to be early, but we'll just wait a couple of minutes to give our panelists to join us. I think some of them have already joined us. Yes. Yes. So we have Mr. Annaswamy Vaidheesh joining us. Warm welcome to you, sir. And we also have Mr. Winslow Tucker, who's joined us. Very warm welcome to you as well. Yes. So once again, a very warm welcome to all our panelists and moderator. Thank you so much for joining us. We are early, which is rare, but thank you so much for being here with us. I'll leave the stage over to our moderator. Mr. Subramanian, over to you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have a quorum of very eminent panelists here who represent the healthcare, pharma, and pharma services and healthcare. It's a great privilege to be moderating this place. We have another panelist member who's on his way, Dr. Chandrasekhar Ranga of the CDSCO. And, but we will start the proceeds of this panel. And, we will let our panelists join in later. So, just to, as a kind of forward, I would like to say that India is pushing towards a 5 trillion economy. The per capita GDP is in, all consumptions and consumables will go up, and that will have its impact on healthcare as well. That said, you know, in India now, we are at crossroads from a 55 billion pharma market and perhaps an equal amount across healthcare services and providers, or probably much more, twice that amount. We are at an inflecting point to see how we can take the next few. Now, this panel's discussion is going to talk about power of partnerships and how they are going to shape the journey ahead towards Viksit Bharat. And so my first question to the eminent panelists would be that India has been the pharmacy of the world. That gives tremendous capability on manufacturing at scale. And we have started talking about the next coming years moving to innovation-led growth. And it also means that we have to stand on the shoulders of our strength to kind of get to the next stage and not barter one for the other. And that brings a big responsibility to build on from where we are. So I want to pass on this question to each panel member. Say, what according to you is value-led growth? And how do you see oncoming years, India progressing towards Viksit Bharat from your own experience and lens? So Vaidheesh, being the nearest to me, I will first pass it on to you.
Good morning, everyone. So first and foremost, I think, I don't think there is a one simple answer to the question of what is that pharma industry should do in India. Go to the value versus volume question. See, the number one, pharma industry per se, there are multiple steps involved in getting a drug out to the patient. And there is a lot of value drivers that happens in various phases. Now, considering that India, in what stage it is in from a economic prosperity, I think India is chosen, like China, also being the first thing first is to take care of your common man, to come up with a drug that is affordable. I think India has done a fantastic job of giving paracetamol at an affordable price, or a simple thing that is causing a problem of gastric cancer, now no longer you find because the reflux disease is managed with an affordable price. So I think India has done a great job of. Now what is the next? The question is, rightly so, I think the India is attracting capability centers. Okay? I think that's a one part of the entire value chain. The area where I think the next phase is going to happen, which I think should happen, is replicating what is happening in the biotech industry. Already, CDMO is one piece of the entire value chain in terms of drug discovery and innovation, where I was involved for a brief time in the area of CDMO. It is so fascinating to see how China has done a great job, almost 80% of the market share in the CDMO space, particularly in the early drug discovery, then in the phase 1A, phase 1B. Participation is important, not necessarily creating the innovation. So frankly, in my opinion, India is right now waking up. In your report also says about the opportunity available. So the way in which I look at it is that I think India is choosing a right way. There's no point in doing a knee-jerk reaction to opportunities. I personally believe we are on the right path of going in the stepwise. CDMO, CRDMO as a one. Only when you partner, you start realizing what can be done. So one area which I personally think, which India might get into the higher end of innovation, is creating a biotech ecosystem, which is very different from the ecosystem that we have. So probably I'll talk about that a little later. Frankly, in my opinion, the risk involved in the preclinical in the phase 1 is significantly different than what you're going to face in the other aspects of the research, because there are companies who want to buy you out as and when you start moving into the phase. So frankly, in my opinion, India should start getting into experimenting or supporting startups in the biotech environment. I personally believe is the most exciting future that's awaiting to happen. The Atmanirbhar that we talked about, that will all happen only when you create a biotech ecosystem, which we discuss it later.
Thank you, Vaidish. I have the proud privilege of also inviting Dr. Chandrasekhar Ranga. Please come, sir. You were not late. We just started the panel a little early. So taken your seat. Let me surprise you. We were just talking about value-led growth, from a volume-led growth to a value-led growth. That's the journey on innovation-backed value-led growth that we are talking about in India, which means that India has to move from producing small molecules, manufacturing scale, to transition to discovery, innovation, many other things. So what are your comments, and according to you, where is India in this value-led growth now?
Thank you for having me here at the outset. Historically, India has been a country producing generic because of the reasons well known. So we were able to cut the cost, and also in case of APIs, processing ready to produce quality APIs. But ultimately, all the products that are being exported from India or manufactured in India are mostly, I term as commodities. So commodities, as you said rightly, so it is a volume play rather than the value play. But if you have observed in the last couple of years, the trend has changed. So more number of companies have realized, because of various reasons like geopolitical risk. Earlier during the COVID, so we were constrained APIs, and now because of the political issues, exports are also a threat in certain geographies. So everyone has realized we have to move in the value chain. So the number of applications for innovative products are seeing a significant rise. I mean, I'm talking only with the perspective of the applications. So this number is seen significantly rising. So certainly the industry has realized, and in response, so CDSCO also and the government also are gearing up to fast track, to build the capabilities rather, and then build expertise, and to deal with these applications in a timely manner on a science-based review. So in this regard, so if you break up these innovative drugs into IND, biologics, devices, or vaccines, so or CGT. So what we have done is that so we actually we have taken various steps in this regard, regarding IND So what we have done, we have appointed a consultant to study the entire process at CDA, and then to identify the gaps and also to give recommendations. So that has been done. So we have created a dedicated team of reviewers for IND molecules. The timelines are being strictly monitored. The timelines have been put in place. So even in the rules, so in case of a clinical trial, so deemed approval process has been introduced. For example, so if the application is not, you don't hear from the regulator within 30 days, it is termed as a deemed approval. We have a dedicated subject expert committee for IND molecules. So we are also, we have also proposed that we should take up experts from the from industry, or not exactly industry, people who are experienced in these areas but who are not aligned with anyone, without conflict of interest. So these are some measures regarding IND. So likewise, even in CGT also. So the first time, 2 CGTs were approved, 2 CAR-T cell-derived drugs were approved based on phase 1 and 2 trial only. So this is a path-breaking, move from the existing practices like sequential of phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So we can't expect that we can issue phase 3 waiver at that point. I don't call this phase 3 waiver, but the CG itself, it requires a different approach. So like this, there are many measures that have been taken, even in the conventional products also. So, for example, to promote innovation, so we have issued a draft notification. We means, I'm talking about the ministry. Ministry has issued a draft notification wherein for manufacturing of batches for test analysis for development purpose, you don't need any permission or license. So it is by only notification. For conduct of BA/BE studies, so that is also by notification, subject to certain conditions. Likewise, many more measures are there. And if we see during the COVID vaccine, which was developed by AstraZeneca, the application was filed with the UK MHRA. The same application was filed with us. So we have collaborated, we have jointly reviewed the application. This is something which we haven't done before. So the issue here I'm talking is that system will be created need-based. So we are not in a position like you create a system and then ask industry to come forward. So let the industry come forward with their challenging products so that we can create a system. Our drug rules, NDCT rules are so flexible, so they give a lot of power to the regulator. So it gives power for waiver of any phase of clinical trial. So that's why even during the COVID, all these vaccines have been approved, even though in some cases phase 3 has been ongoing, conditional approval, emergency approval. All these provisions are there.
Fantastic, Dr.
Yes.
Dr. Chandrasekharanga. This is beginning of a transformation, and this is most welcome. Sure, the industry, that's a element to cheer. So coming to you, Dr. Ratna Devi, and patient is the receiving end of healthcare delivery, and innovation does not stop with just the people who make solutions for equally improvement of outcome depends on a lot of what you do. So how do you see this value-led growth moving forward in technology, so many others?
Thank you for the question. And before I come to the debate on value versus volume, just wanted to lay the context on how we are seen externally. I'm just returning from Global Patient Congress in Manila, where we had the secretary.
You'll have to hold the mic closer.
Where we had the Secretary Health from the government of Philippines and a senior government official from Egypt. And in spite of all the Western dressing, I look very much Indian. So they immediately looked at me, and the comments that they made me think of where India is positioned in the global, perspective of how we are driving innovation and what the expectations of the world are from us. So the person from Egypt looked at me and said, "You saved us during the pandemic." And the person from Philippines said, "You are going to save us in the future." That is where India stands, and that is the expectation from us as a country. While it made me immensely proud to listen to these comments, it also made me think, are we ready? And if we are not ready, what do we need to do to move to that space where these global expectations are there from us? And I'm not even a scientist, or in my current capacity, not even a practicing healthcare provider, yet these comments came to me. So I think, the ball is rolling now in our favor, the environment is set, and it is up to us how we use this opportunity to move forward, where we are really innovating not only for manufacturing, but for every aspect that makes quality of life good. So to answer your question...
This is part of my question too. You
Yeah.
just brought in another dimension about the value in meeting pandemic requirements in order to save more lives. There is innovation required for that. Done.
Exactly. So partnerships is not limited to our boundaries, but it goes beyond. And I think that is where the power lies, when we are not only serving our own people, but also patients across the globe.
Indeed.
So just to answer your question, from the perspective of a patient, I don't look at just the medicines. I look at healthcare as being defined by 5 Rs, which is whenever a person seeks healthcare, is it at the right place? Is it at the right time? Is the right treatment being provided to him or her? And is it by the right healthcare provider at a price that he or she can afford? And when you look at these 5 Rs, then innovation goes much beyond manufacturing. So we have to look at health system strengthening. We have to look at policy strengthening. We have to look at procurement and supply chain mechanisms. We have to look at how do we improve health literacy, and the binding factor to this all at this point of time is probably technology, with AI now entering and playing a very big role. How do we use technology to make last mile service delivery at the same quality as that of in a big metro city? How do we use technology to provide services and diagnostics to the person who is most vulnerable? I think that is what will define innovation, not just manufacturing of medicines or how do we bring new molecules. I'll stop there because I'll elaborate on that in the next.
Completely, yes. We'll come back to you more on the technology unifying all these. You've been a director, you are a director, and could you, from your lens, what do you see as academia's role in this value-led?
Yeah. So thank you for that question. And definitely, I think if ever there was a VUCA world, it is now. It's a very volatile, uncertain, complex, and we cannot put all our eggs in one basket. And we have learned that. Everyone in this hall today, I think, very well aware that we cannot put all our eggs in one basket. We had excelled at a certain thing, and we were all in our comfort zones. Let it be the academia, where we were training in a particular manner, the same curriculum was being taught year after year, and it was okay. There were no problems. And similarly, the industry was also mass producing in a similar manner, and everybody had their comfort zones they were excelling at. And suddenly, we have come to terms with reality that this will not take us very far into the future because things are changing, and it's a very, very volatile world. And so each one of us has to sit up and to have our short-term goals in place, our long-term goals in place. How do we want to reach there? Which are the stakeholders which will have to come together to make all of this happen, and handhold to make it happen? We cannot be in our own silos and say that this is our job, the rest was academia to take care of. So now industry has to tell academia, listen, this is what we want, this is what you are not doing right, and so on and so forth. And so each one of us has to tighten our boots, sit up upright, and ensure that this is our goal, and all of us are going to work in a concerted manner, and we'll make it happen.
Thank you. Sudarshanji.
So thank you very much, and at the very outset, let me congratulate OPPI for Diamond Jubilee Year. In fact, OPPI has played a very important role over the years to get the best practices in this country in terms of innovation, manufacturing, governing, talent. In fact, I've been part of OPPI for 40 years. Thanks to Bhushan, Amitabh, and Anil for inviting me. Thanks to be part of distinguished panel, and it is great to connect with many of the friends out here. As rightly said by Honorable Health Minister, that we have to move up the value chain while making sure that affordability is ensured to the patients in this country. It was great to hear the panel discussion yesterday. India is at the inflection point at this particular moment. 28 years median age, and the economy poised to be among top 3 economies in the world. What we have been aspiring for, we have made the presentation that we are third in pharma industry at the moment in terms of volume and 14 in terms of value. We will be number 1 in volume and top 3 to 4 countries in the world for value. And all Indian companies are committed to it. The Indian entrepreneurship made a lot of difference. And if we combine Indian entrepreneurship with OPPI multinational companies' best practices, it will take the company forward. And hence, I will congratulate all the OPPI members, companies, to think of the theme, power of partnership. I'll give you some examples before going further. There is no choice for us but to move up the value chain. We are seeing a lot of science. Just to give the examples of biosimilars, in fact, Vadish has been talking about it. There is a 300 billion market of biosimilars, which will go out of patent in the next 7 years. 55 drugs, which are more than $1 billion drugs. There is a rule which has come in US of interchangeability of biosimilars. There is the opportunity which is waiting for us, a lot of companies working on it. Companies working on complex generic, companies working on chemical entities. And there is no time better for India to move forward. I also work for EQT, number 2 company in the world. I was there at Hong Kong. And what we are saying, India is the market, healthcare is the market, and both MNCs and Indian companies will work together to take countries forward. We will work on various teams going forward. Suresh, you have been a great moderator, and you have put the agenda right. We will take it forward.
Thank you. Winslow, a quick word. When you are uniquely positioned because you represent 2 value streams that MNC brings to the table. One is the commercial market access and commercialization. The second is the GCC. So your views on value-led growth.
Sure. One, I want to thank OPPI for inviting me to be part of this distinguished panel. This discussion around moving up in the value chain, I think we all agree. I want to start with 2 things. First, let's talk about value-led growth and what that means. I think it means different things for different stakeholders. For example, for patients, I think that's access to products that make a difference. It's affordability. It's products that actually impact and make health better for them. For industry, it's a predictable environment where we can innovate. So that means policies that support innovation, faster clinical trials, strong IP, recognition of innovation, right? R&D incentives. For the government and the regulator, it's really about making sure that there is a predictable, safe process for the approval and management and regulation of these products, right? As we start to think about the value chain, we've got to put all of those interests together so that we can move forward. Now, you talked about GCCs. I don't love the term GCC because all of the MNCs are focused on innovation, and these are really innovation centers. This isn't the GCCs of the past that are looking at call centers. We have scientists in there. It's the convergence of data and scientific innovation and what will be the future, which is biology. You put all those together, and I would agree with my panelists here, that India sits at a unique point and is well positioned to put all of that together and innovate for the future. And I think as we start to think about doing that and moving away from just volume as the bar and really thinking about, are we making life better for patients, leaning into that innovation, coming out with things that have a real impact on health outcomes. As we do that together and think about all those stakeholders collaborating, that's how I think we're going to deliver on value. And I totally believe that India is in a unique position to do that because of the investment it is attracting from MNCs in these innovation centers, and also the push forward in what I see in the government, pushing us forward to innovate more, to make in India, but also to research in India and make sure that we can be part of pushing that forward.
Thank you. The next round, we'll probably dig a little deep and go closer to what it takes. And starting with you, Sudarshan sir. You're also a person who's kind of worn multiple hats, been a champion of MNC cause, and kind of shaped a lot of things here. And you're now, with your current avatar, a leader in the IPA. You see the Indian entrepreneurs very closely. Now, what do you see closer as you see them very close? What are they thinking in the next years? How are they shaping the value growth of their companies? We've seen multiple areas grow in the last 5-10 years. CROs, CDMOs, or what you now call as CRDMOs. They are probably adjacencies to innovation. There are many of them who have come and really built global businesses from India. And you also have big Indian pharma majors getting into CDMOs with an eye on the CRDMO as well. So what are you seeing closer, and what gives you the belief that we are marching in that direction?
Thank you very much, Suresh. In fact, more than 50% of time which we have in any meeting with Indian entrepreneurs and IPA, we spend on innovation. How do we drive innovation, and how do we take Indian companies to the next level? As yesterday was discussed, patient is the center of everything we do. And the whole business model, whether it is IPA or OPPI, has to evolve. How do we serve the patient better? And how do we develop affordable innovation model which can serve Indian patient and globally? I will give examples of recent times. It is great to note that AbbVie and Glenmark have signed the biggest deal in early phase. In fact, Glenn had been struggling for last 10 years, but he was resilient to make it happen. And he signed the deal with AbbVie, happened to be my ex-company, and he's sitting here. $700 million right at the beginning, phase 1 discovery, biggest in the world. Biggest in the world. $2.3 billion rights of India and other markets reserved, which shows it is early sign. There's another deal, antibiotic resistance. Vocard has been working on it. There's a lot of work which Zydus is doing, Theragatazole. Teliphi bought 2 molecules, patented molecules in US, getting into early phase. What all is saying is, and in our discussion, we say, and our leaders say, that unless we work on innovation, we'll not be anywhere there. So Suresh, as you rightly said, IPA companies strongly believe to up the value chain, primary decision. And for them, it is not multinational, it is not Indian, because they collaborate with everyone in the world. It is patient, and how do we make the difference? CDRMO space, yes, many of the companies, Biocon, Syngene is a great example. Dr. Reddy's is a great example. So whether it is CDRMO space, they are thinking of scale. The great point is last 5 years where I've been part, everyone is talking about scale, everyone is thinking big, everyone is not talking multinational and Indian. How do we make difference to the patient and take the innovation forward? Thank you.
I want to push you back with one more question on the CRDMOs. CRDMOs actually create a supplier system around innovation. And they're also probably a training ground for a whole lot of discovery services that are being. So how do you think that will make an impact? Will it foster partnerships of different kind? What impact do you think CRDMOs will make in innovation and discovery scenario?
Can I answer in one word?
Yes.
The greatest thing with here for all of us in India, we don't think of scale. The China has been thinking of scale. We are only $3 billion at the moment. And when I talk to CDRMO, in fact, they have been saying, can we become partner of association to take it forward? I've been saying to them, create a separate association and you will get the focus. 3 billion in next 3 years can be $10 billion. We have to think of the scale. Here is the right opportunity. And when we create the link between large Indian companies with their leadership style, multinational companies with the best practices, CDROs, clinical trial environment in India, and Vedish is the expert. Vedish has done a lot of work in that space. We will take this country next level. And time is now. We cannot afford to lose this time. And Suresh, we have to move forward. And I can talk on behalf of the Indian companies where I interact. They are committed to make it happen. In fact, when I talk to Pankaj Bhai, he will say, we are committed to the government that 100 products by 2047, 100 years, right? That is the commitment he has been saying in every meeting. So the time is now to take it to the next level.
Thank you. That was very insightful. Vaidish, I come back to you. You wear multiple hats too. EVCs, with regulators, and with pharma companies. Now, taking this question on CRDMOs, one of the often talked about points is that the ROCE is very unfavorable. Therefore, it does not really support investment. And there are margins to be taken, but there are risks as well. And so that's one. Second is the whole funding or the risk capital that is required for pushing this innovation forward. Do you think PE will, in India, the system will play a part in funding with exits, focus, 4-year period? What is the visibility they will have? Will that, why I'm asking this is, will that prompt people like Glenmark, right, to kind of exit their innovation early before they realize the full valuation of their innovation, right? Selling it early, rather than waiting for the development, preclinical, invest in clinical. So where do you see the funding for innovation coming? How do you overcome these barriers?
So, see, fundamentally, you need to recognize the facts. CDMO or CRDMO, it's called as the CRAMS. Somebody called it Contract Research Manufacturing Services, right? So this is basically like your IT industry. One is called the body shopping, which people used to do, where you do the initial discovery phase. You have a lot of tons of people working on it. There are companies who are doing it. So you have to remember, if you want to succeed with your innovators, big multinational companies sitting here, what they are looking for is fail fast. If you want to fail fast, that means the people who are helping them to discover has to respond fast. That means if I ask you to come up with synthesis molecule design that I'm giving it to you, you are supposed to come back with your cost structure and also supply a 1 kg or a 2 kg kind of supply. Now, China today respond in about less than 10 days. And Indian CDMO takes more than 3 to 4 weeks. So you need to remember, we don't really have what it takes to respond like China at this point of time. The only reason why we may have a foot in the door because of the current geopolitical situation between US and China, so that we keep using this word called China plus one. Now, in my opinion, it's very tactical. Till the time you sort out your ability to respond fast to the innovators, if J&J or a GSK or somebody wants you to come back, your response to their RFU or RFP, now you have to remember, you need to move fast. You can't do the same way what you've been doing it. So if you want to succeed there, you need to get that project management. There are various skills that are involved, which Chinese are good at this point. We have to learn from them. Now, in my opinion, will we improve? 100%. Where we were and where we are today, we are improved. Even if you get 5% market share from China, I think it will be billions of dollars, right? In biologics, we are nowhere. In the CRDMO, primarily in the small molecule, we have a place in. Now, when it comes down to innovation that you talked about, you know what, you should not even worry about the entire innovation cycle because the risk factor keeps climbing up. How does the biotech works, right? Out of 100 molecules that they work on initially, out of which 2 or 3 will go to the phase 1 or a phase 2, right? It's a biotech system, they're funded. So what you need to remember is that PE will never come into this. PE will always come in when already a good business model is existing where they can come and add and take it to the next level. Who will come is the venture capitalist. So in India, we are in a right situation where we are talking about Atmanirbhar. And the young people are talking about wanting to do a lot of startups. Frankly, in my opinion, if we can set up a venture fund supported by government or public-private partnership, create a venture fund and invite young scientists to start working on drug discovery. Now, it doesn't matter, even with the phase 1 or a phase 2, phase 1, 1A, B, if a multinational company picks it up, it's success for you. You may sell it at $10 million and $15 million, but at least you are creating, you don't need to wait for it to become a $1 billion blockbuster, correct? So frankly, in my opinion, we need to build the culture of risk syndication, taking risk. Let us take risk in the smaller level, right? Phase 1 preclinical stage itself, you sell it off to somebody. It's okay. Let that be the culture that we need to develop. We should continue to not be a body shopping country. What happened in IT boom, the value add what happened in IT boom will happen in pharma industry. So frankly, I am quite excited because now we have a large young population, qualified people coming out of NIPERS, coming out of various other institutions. We should encourage the young people to start going into those startup environment of drug discovery and drug innovation and support them. Take it one by step. Let's not try to boil the ocean. Let's start with the 1 cup of water related boil.
No, very, very well said. I think if you wait for exit visibility and revenue guarantees, you're not going to invite VCs really. So we will have to find some indigenous way of doing it. That's where partnerships of the local industry, because they have a lot to gain, really comes in for. I think Glenmark with its IGI, part of Glenmark, bringing out this multi-specific antibody, that's a big crowning achievement in innovation. That's the first tri-specific globally. And what they probably got, it's a big amount for any entrepreneur here. But I was just imagining what would be the value that the company that bought it, and if it is able to overcome the risk, what is it in terms of value that it would give? So that's a North Star probably. But I think the valid argument is in starting small. But that's an important start that we need to make in the next 15 years, develop institutions that share risk in the area of innovation and development. So great points made by these, as usual, always on top of the topic. Coming back to Dr. Ranga, you're in an unenviable position. While we talk about innovation, it puts a lot of pressure on you to recognize it and approve it. Today you have AI-related R&D, cutting time to discover. The lead optimization process is very quick. Development is very quick. Preclinical brings in a lot of predictive assumptions, right? Clinical trials have synthetic arms, reducing the level of number of people required. And how do you deal with all this? To top of it, are the combinations that come, drug-device combinations, a whole lot of diagnosis. So it's quite a challenge being in your place. So how do you think, where should the transformation start? You did bring about some areas where how you are studying the process, of hastening that process. But from a transformation perspective, with all this happening in the innovation space, what do you think your transformation agenda moving forward the next 10, 15 years?
A tough question.
It is a very tough task, sir.
The issue with the regulators is that regulators internationally are very conservative. That is one thing. Second thing, the challenges of Indian regulator is that we simply can't copy the regulations of established country or agency, because the requirements of India are different. We want quality drugs at affordable price. And the regulation should be designed to enable this. At the same time, not compromising the safety, also efficacy of the product. So that's why I was referring to the powers that have been delegated to the. It gives a lot of freedom to the licensing authority to abbreviate any trial or defer it or modify it or completely waive them. So these powers that the DCGI licensing authority uses this to customize the requirements, even though they are not specifically, by default, these are sequential starting from phase 1. But however, when the situation requires, for example, during the pandemic, or for example, for the emerging areas like PT, so as the situation requires, and the international practices are also evolving, that gives a leverage to the TSO design their own approach. At the same time, it also gives, more responsibility, because creating a path, that means there is more burden, and the regulator should not fail that endeavor. Otherwise, the entire things goes back to the past earlier system, sequential. So, but however, we are also trying to have our own guidances. For example, in case of biosimilars, our biosimilar guideline was issued in 2016. At that time, the guideline said the biosimilars can be approved in India based on characterization, robust characterization, and PKPD studies. And now, recently, like Sudarshanji has said, FDA and EMA has made a guideline today in 2025, almost after 9 years. So we were very, very far ahead. At that time, interchangeability study has to be done internationally.
Correct.
And we said it is not required, provided the mechanism of action remains the same. Okay. So the point I was making is that, so that guideline was science-based, but because we only did that, it was not internationally accepted. But if some guideline which is internationally developed and acceptable, we need not adopt the same thing as such. We can have our own guideline. Like in the last year, I think Honorable Finance Minister has said India should have its own Bharat FDA. And that doesn't mean have a organization, means to have a approach, like India-specific approach, where like a Mars mission, where we carried out this, successfully launched this mission with the lowest cost. And our approach should be in that manner. And of course, there are challenges. So we need to adopt very quickly, and we should take bold steps. We earlier have proposed a center of excellence for regulatory science. So things like this, like that, enable us to create our own guidance document and also be the front runner on the emerging.
Thanks. You know, I'm tempted to ask you a couple more questions, but I'll come back to you, sir. Dr. Ratna Devi, again, we talk about technology. We have the ABDM platform. We have multiple other platforms. We have a lot of health tech here. Now, how would you put it all together when you gaze into a crystal ball 15 years from now? What do you think will be healthcare delivery, and how will be the influence on patient outcomes? All this.
Very difficult question to answer, but let's look at who is doing the definitions. I mean, we have been talking about inclusivity, about innovation, about technology, and about value. But are patients there when the definitions of these words are being discussed? So if we really want to bring technology in its full value chain to be able to deliver results for patients, then patients have to be at the design or at the drawing board, and they have involved in co-designing and co-producing the solutions. As I see as of now, most of the technology does not have patients at the drawing board. They are being delivered to patients as consumers. And that is why we see a plethora of technology out there, but it does not serve the purpose. And which means that much of the investments that are going into technology are being wasted because the end users are not going to really use them after the initial euphoria of, trying a new product. And when we are talking of co-designing, co-producing, co-leading any solutions, I think there are several levels where this has to be embedded. And the first one will be the government. We have very good examples like patient organizations being mandated in, say, UK NICE, where every board and every technical group has a patient. It's mandated. NIHR and NIH, etc. When they do clinical trials, the proposal design needs to have patient groups as a partner. Unless a patient group is there, the proposal does not even clear the first stage. So do we have that in the context of our country? And unless the national policy for health includes patients in its language, that credibility for patients will never be there. And if that is not there, then any solution, whether it is pharmacological or technological, will not really achieve its true value. In terms of pharma, when we talk of inclusion and partnerships, and because we are talking of technology, there is a lot of value beyond just the pharmacological products. There's a lot of strength that the pharma industry can bring in terms of technological innovation as well, working with patient groups. But unfortunately and sadly, patients are still seen as vendors, not as partners. The language that is used when we are signing contracts is as vendors, not as partners. I think that thought process needs to change, because unless, another word that we always talk about is equity, and there can be no equity when you are just the end of the value chain, when you're just the person who is receiving services, when you are just the person who is using your services. So if you have to be a partner, then the partnership has to be truly inclusive and treated as equals at whatever level the patient groups are. And that brings us to another point that is discussed globally, but not so much in the context of India, is, do the patient organizations have the strength to be equal? And if they do not have the strength to be equal, where is the ecosystem to train them? So again, coming from global examples like the UPPI, which is the European Patient Academy for Therapeutic Innovation, or the PICORI in the Americas, which is the Patient-Centered Outcome Research Institute, which is a partnership with the industry, with patient organizations, and with government, driving patient-led capacity building. We do not have that in the context of our country. And I think when we are talking of partnerships, we need to bring that kind of an ecosystem here, where patients are able to enroll into those kind of programs and build their capacities to be able to contribute meaningfully at technical groups, at government-led discussion forums, as well as forums like this. And I also think that, to be for technology, for ABDM, or for anything else to deliver, we did see some good examples. I mean, the CoWIN app is an example that many countries have now taken up. We have a telemedicine, portal that is delivering excellent results and can be expanded to give more services than what it is currently giving. But patients are not part of that value chain. And patient groups are still not part of that value chain. Nobody asks us. It is changing right now with DHR, the Department of Health Research, through its ICMR institute, inviting patient groups to the drawing board. So there are co-design workshops where patient groups are being invited to, say, for example, decide what research questions will ICMR drive in the next 5 years, and whether patient groups are happy with those research questions. And when we sit with clinicians, we see that the thought process is poles apart. The clinicians think in a different way, and patient groups look at it in a different way. They are not interested in what medicine you're going to give us. They are interested in how do I improve my quality of life? How do I live a better life than what I have right now? And whether or not the medicine is receiving the clinical endpoints that are meant to be, am I able to wake up happier every day? Am I able to go to a job? Am I able to go back into the society after a life-altering incident like a heart attack or a stroke? Those are the questions that patients are asking. The government has started to listen. I think all other stakeholders also need to. The other thing that I wanted to raise, because we are talking of partnerships, is patient groups traditionally have siloed partnerships. So we have partnerships with academia, we have partnerships with pharmaceutical industry, we have partnerships with government, but we do not have all of them in the room at the same time as a partnership. So how can we drive that? And only then technology will work. Otherwise, it will be again siloed based on who wants to be there and what is the market offering.
Can I push you back on that, on the power of forms? Are we really leveraging that? Because ABDM as a platform is supposed to bring all the stakeholders together. It is supposed to engage, it is to bring an interoperability which improves experience, improves the cost of healthcare delivery, it kind of dramatically reduces. It improves the experience of patient interacting with healthcare providers, and also provides an element of discovery for the patients, healthcare facilities, right? So healthcare as a consumption would go up. My question to you is, have you considered using that as a platform to kind of bring stakeholders together, be it training, be it whatever?
I think ABDM is still in its native phase. I mean, it is still building, and that kind of opportunity has not been presented. The stakeholders are still trying to find their way around it. And unless it becomes...
The problem.
Yeah,
they're trying to find a way around it rather than participating in it.
So there has to be some kind of a unifying mechanism that brings everybody together around ABDM or any other platform for that matter. And I think there are a lot of good initiatives that are happening, but every partner who looks at that, looks at it from their perspective and what kind of value it gives to them. Not a common goal. So unless that common goal is defined and everybody walks towards that common goal, it will still be fragmented.
Quite agree. I'm going to move to Dr. Shubhini, and you have many of the multinationals, many global pharma majors actually setting shop on for their research hubs within academic campuses. You have the MIT, Yale, examples in Cambridge, Boston, a whole lot of companies, member companies here. And we also had in one of the OPPI annual conventions, Mr. Andrew Whitty talking about a concept of a Ferrari cockpit view on how you can get everybody, including patients, around a research hub. What do you think about that? Do you think such things are possible in India? Is it something that how can we foster such partnerships the next 15 years?
So I think that what you were asking me was already on the mind of the Department of Pharmaceuticals, because this recent PRIP scheme that was launched, the component B1 of the scheme was very much this, that if there is an industry who can pitch in and set shop in an academic environment in a university or an institute, then 100 crores would be given by the government, and which was like 35% or 100 crores. So that was the offering, and 10 such projects were envisaged. I think yesterday was the last date for the expression of interest for this scheme. I'm not sure what the outcome will be. But I do have a feeling that the excitement was much more in the other components, based on the feedbacks that we were getting, the queries that we were getting. And it was only the smaller startups, the MSMEs, who were excited to hold hands with academia and set up shop, start. So I think that, yes, it will take us time to get where you are saying, but we need to get there to do something meaningful. It has to happen sooner or later. And I see a lot of very exciting experimentations taking place in a lot of campuses, including our NIPERs, which I think hold promise. But we are not able to take them outside of just an academic exercise. We are not able to translate them. Somewhere there is also a lack of trust. So, and we are not able to take up problems ex ante. We finish up our problem solving and then we want to offer it to somebody. It should happen the other way around if we want to make it meaningful, that let us come together on a problem, let us find the basic proofs of concept, give it to you so that you can multiply it, take it ahead. And the risk that you were saying earlier in the discussion, probably some part of that also gets mitigated when there's somebody else who's doing the work. So at any given point of time, any NIPER would have around 200 at the minimum students working on some thesis, some unique problems. So if we were to group some of these problems together and say, okay, so 10 of you at 7 NIPERs are going to work on this very problem and find a solution. Now, maybe 1 or 2 of those solutions could make it big and could form the seed which a multinational industry could take globally. So this is probably which is very much required. The government wants it to happen. Will it or will it not? We have to see. I see some small examples like drill, which is there with Dr. Reddy's. Dr. Reddy's is there today. So they have University of Hyderabad, they have a small facility which is doing similar work. But all this is happening too much in a small way, and we'll not really be able to come up with something big if we continue on the same pace. And so it's very much required that,
Thank you.
that we do something.
No, this is very helpful. So, very quick time, we have less than a minute. So, Winslow, I'm going to start with you. What's your wish list to shape the road ahead? One wish that you would want to communicate to the government.
I'll keep it very short. I think we're talking about driving more innovation, so I'd like to see more collaboration, as you described, academia, industry collaboration. I'd like to see continued progress on the ecosystem around investment, IP, and speed for innovation.
For me, is innovation and quality mindset and partnership.
Yeah, so for me, it has to be disruptive. Whatever you think about innovation has to be disruptive, newer solutions, no more harping on the same lines.
3 sentences: walk the talk, lead by example, and sustainable partnership.
Dr. Ranga.
For me, the industry should come up with solutions rather than problems. So, because
that's an amazing statement. Big round of applause for that.
No, see, problems are always there, but the solutions which are practically
But sir, we see you as a gatekeeper. I think that's a big, big change that we have to bring ourselves. And I think, thank you. Please.
Yeah, I think in India we know quite a lot. Only thing is that, and we have everything is set up, we know what to do. Only thing is that we need to do at the scale of China. There is an inspiration we need from China and do it at a good speed. But frankly, in my opinion, no more intellectual debate is required. Everybody knows what to do. Just get it done. We need to execute fast.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause to the panelists and to OPPI for arranging this wonderful panel. All members, President-elect and current President and General Secretary, congratulations on the 6th anniversary. Thank you very much. It was a great pleasure moderating this group. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much to our panelists and moderator. I request you to stay a moment longer as I welcome Mr. Amitabh Dubey, President-elect OPPI, to please come forward and present a memento of gratitude to all our speakers. And ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to our panelists. Thank you so much for taking the time and sharing your insights and views on this panel. Hold on. Request you to be here for a group photograph. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm applause to our panelists and moderator. Thank you so much for this insightful discussion. Thank you so much to all our panelists. Request you to take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, as the summit nears conclusion, I request everyone to please be seated for a moment as we would like to now present the vote of thanks, and I'd like to welcome Ms. Asavari Sathe, Director of Communications and Patient Advocacy at OPPI. Let's give her a warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for making it to the summit and to celebrate the 6 decades of OPPI. Thank you to our OPPI Thank you so much, Bhushan. Thank you, everyone, for coming and making the summit a great success. Thank you to the OPPI leadership team for your guidance. President Mr. Bhushan Akshikar, President-elect Mr. Amitabh Dubey, and our DG Mr. Anil Matai. Thank you. Thank you to our partners and sponsors for the support, to the government dignitaries and panelists for gracing the event, to the OPPI team who have worked tirelessly behind the scene, to Shreyas, Prashant, Prem, Masood, Clara, Cheshtha, Ankit, thank you so much. To our event management team, Manish and Pink Crowd Events, to our beautiful hostess, Ms. Khyati Kawa, to our publications design team, Melange Communications, and to all of you to be present here today to encourage us even more. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Asabri. Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time to mingle, to network, and also to have some scrumptious lunch, which is being served right outside this room in the pre-function area. We once again like to thank all of you for taking the time and being present here at the OPPI Annual Summit. We hope to see you in our next edition. Till then, take care and have a great day forward. Thank you so much, everyone.